Live from WBFF-TV in Baltimore, this is breaking news.
Fox 45 News is on weather alert tonight and over the next few days as this monster winter storm system finally comes to an end. But dangerously cold temperatures will set in.
A live look around the area shows it's dicey on the roads. The sleet and freezing rain leaving a layer of ice on top of all that snow. Side streets are particularly treacherous right now.
Yeah, the conditions have schools, churches, and courts all closed tomorrow and even Tuesday.
Now you're taking a look at a list of school closures we have right now. Most schools in our area are closed both tomorrow and Tuesday. You can find that complete list at foxbaltimore.com and on the Fox 45 News app. Good evening, I'm Maxine Stryker.
And I'm Kai Jackson. Well, viewers have been sending in lots of pictures of their snow day, and we appreciate that, viewers. Look at these snowy scenes from Baltimore City, Dundalk, and beyond. The pictures make the area look like a winter wonderland, but if you do go outside and take a closer look over the next few days, please be sure to bundle up.
Fortunately, we haven't seen widespread power outages today. We're taking a look at the BGE outage map right now. 117 customers are without power.
Yeah. Well, the Fox 45 News team has been on top of this winter weather system all day, covering everything for you, including into tonight. Vincent Hill is keeping track of the conditions in downtown Baltimore, and Keith Daniels is checking out those side streets in Rogers Forge.
But we begin with Gerard Jabali. He has been tracking this winter storm for days now, Gerard.
Oh, I'm so glad it's coming to an end. And, you know, some people were hopeful for some snowfall. I don't blame you. I mean, it's kind of fun this time of the year. But you know what? The ice that could bring all sorts of other issues, including power outages. I'm glad we avoided that. Let's take a look outside. Of course, plenty of snow on the ground everywhere. We were pretty much guaranteeing that, and well, we certainly saw that. And as you can tell, it is still very cold. 22 degrees, but that is just the tip of the iceberg, pun intended. We're going to see it get colder, but overall, you can see the precipitation moving out. We may see just a few very light little sprinkles or showers tonight, but really, we have received 99.9% of what we are going to. And right now, the winter storm warnings are officially still in effect, but we will start to see those getting trimmed out. They're officially in effect until 4 a.m. Likely we're going to start to see those being pushed out. A look at some of the totals from around the area, and also on top of that was our actual forecast. You see the numbers in purple is our forecast. There are some of the totals from around the region. Overall, looks like we pretty much hit it on the nose, especially in Baltimore and areas to the south. The only places that we're not exactly perfect at, of course, as you can see, was far to the northwest. Frederick, northwestward, did not see over 9 inches of snow. So that was the one place that got a little skimped on it, but otherwise you can see the numbers were very variable around the region. On the low end in some of these zones, 5.5 inches, others almost a foot just to the west of Columbia, near Laurel. So that's pretty amazing, and hence why you have those ranges. So we'll continue to watch these numbers as they roll in. These are actual measurements that we have gotten from spotters all around the state, really. Tonight it is going to be drying out, and we are almost there, clearing out too, and very cold still, dropping to the upper teens, but that is only the beginning. It is going to get so much worse, unfortunately. So we are still weather alert for dangerously cold temperatures Monday through Thursday. Yes, we're going to have icy roads and sidewalks, but we are going to have temperatures dipping down to the single digits near zero, plus -5 to -15 below on wind chills. We're going to talk about the number of days we're going to get stuck with this cold weather coming up.
All right, Gerard, thank you. Let's go out live now to Fox 45's Vincent Hill.
That's right, Vince, you've been spending your day, or spent your day out in downtown Baltimore. You were on Charles Street earlier as people were kind of doing their bar hopping or pub crawl, whatever you want to call it. What do things look like right now?
Yeah, Kai, I'm at Light and Conway right now. Just go ahead and take a look down Light Street. You can actually see a plow here, but you can see the roads are actually still pretty covered here in downtown. And of course, this section of Light leads to Key Highway, which leads to 95, which could cause some traffic concerns in the morning. And speaking of these road conditions, look, we were stuck earlier, and I know one of our photographers, their battery actually died in their vehicle. So I'm gonna have my photographer come over to my vehicle for a second. Just some things you may want to keep in mind if you are stuck on the road, some things you may want to have in your car that you may not think about. A simple blanket, of course, to stay warm if you do get stuck. A battery charger, these are about 50 bucks. And of course, some hand warmers, some feet warmers, things of that nature in case you do get stuck out there in your vehicle like we got stuck in the snow earlier. And again, one of our photographers, their battery actually died out in the field. So we want to make sure you're staying safe, you're staying warm. Make sure you take all these precautions. If you don't have to come out, please don't come out. For now, Maxine and Kai, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Vincent, thank you. And a lot of people are kind of chiming in on social media, letting us know what things look like in their area. Let's take a look at some of these pictures out here. I love this one right here. Barks have been asking people to be temporary foster homes. Look at that cutie right there, man. If I had found that dog, I would have grabbed him up and brought him to our house with our dog, Freddie. Here, from our producer, our executive producer, Hannah, sharing this picture. Hannah left somebody out on her front porch too long. We're sorry about that. From Mackenzie Frost. Beautiful, beautiful on her street. I'm sure Mackenzie and her husband took that picture. We appreciate that. I love this picture here. Joppa and Silver Spring Road. What a beautiful winter wonderland here. And I'm going to end with, well, two quick ones, Hannah. I'm sorry. This little bully here looks like an American or Staffordshire bully. That's a cute picture with a woman and her dog in the snow. And this last one here, the woods, from Andrea. Thank you for that beautiful picture. Not sure if that's the Jones Falls or part of the gunpowder, but it's a very pretty picture. Thank you very much.
All right, now let's get to Fox 45's Keith Daniels. He's checking out the side streets tonight in Rogers Forge. Keith, what are you seeing now?
Well, Maxine, we're live on Hopkins Road here in Rogers Forge in Baltimore County. Now, we've seen several streets in this area, but I have to tell you, this is the best looking one. Take a look. You can see the pavement here on this block. The plow trucks, they've come here, they've been on this block. Several hits this night that we have seen, and that's the main road. That's York Road. So they usually get the main roads first, then the secondary roads, and then those side streets like this one, notably the side streets that some residents are concerned about. Now take a look again. This road is passable. You can see the pavement. We've seen county plow crews rolling through. County officials say road crews have to work about 2,700 miles of road. They say the major roads like York Road, again, are first, then the secondary roads, and then the side streets. Now, we caught up with one of the plow crews on this block, the driver telling us how the operation is going as neighbors on this block wait for their street to be cleared.
For some streets, like we're close to York Road, so usually they get us. Usually they do. So it's not too bad.
It's hard because salt freezes in this temperature, so it's not coming out real good, so I have to break it apart.
Well, they're going to do the best they can. It's going to take a while, but they're going to do the best they can.
Somebody's going to be first and somebody's going to be last, so that's the way it goes.
You're doing the best you can?
Yes.
Well, we are back here live. You heard at the end there. He says he's doing the best he can, and these residents are watching and waiting. Again, this pavement looks really good. You can see the pavement here. They're going to be busy, and the officials say that it could be up to 48 hours from now before they get to all of those roads and clear all of those roads to everyone's satisfaction. We're live now in Baltimore County. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
All right, Keith, be careful. It's tough out in these streets today. Well, while the snow has been dangerous for drivers, it has also been fun for a lot of people playing. Cheryl and Evan sending this picture of some members of McDaniel College's men's soccer team sledding. How about that? And Kirsten sent this little one playing in the snow this afternoon.
And if you see heavy snowfall and it's safe to go outside, we want to see it. Head to foxbaltimore.com/chime in to share your pictures and videos from today. You might see them on air or on our website. It's all powered by Stackler.
Now make sure to wake up with the morning crew for all of your important weather information and alerts. Meteorologist Amy Aronson will have your up-to-date forecast on Fox 45 Early Edition starting at 4:30 a.m.
And download the Fox 45 Weather Authority app for severe weather alerts, daily and hourly forecasts, plus current and predictive radar. Just search WBFF in your app store. Scan the QR code there with your smartphone to get started. Snow and rain, they're over, but they did leave a mess behind on the roadways. We'll have a live update from MDOT coming up right after the break.
Plus, our team of reporters is keeping an eye on the conditions in Baltimore City and also Baltimore County. We'll check in with them once again coming up in just a few minutes.
We are taking a look at some of the highways around the state. The Maryland State Highway Administration has been working around the clock to keep them as clear as possible. It's also important to note that the MTA has suspended all bus service. Not clear when it will be back up and running.
Tina Register from NDOT joins us live once again. Tina, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been a really busy day now that the snow, ice, and freezing rain are kind of behind us for the most part. What can drivers expect heading into tomorrow?
Really, crews have been working for 12-hour shifts now, really trying to get those roads clear for motorists. So if they don't have to travel tomorrow, that's the most ideal situation, but we do know some folks will have to. So really the best advice is, no road conditions before you leave your house tomorrow if you must travel. So there's some things you can do. You can check our website, which is roads.maryland.gov. We have a lot of resources on there. We have more than 100 road cameras where you can actually go on to see what the road conditions look like. You can actually even also see where our snowplows are. Before I came on, there were about 330 of our snowplows, and I could see what roads where they were being tracked. So that's a nice tool to also have. And if you must travel, always make sure that your car is completely clear from that snow and ice, especially the way the storm has been with that ice, because it's really going to be dangerous if you don't clear your car and you start traveling down the highway. And also make sure your fluids of your vehicle are topped off. So there are really some things that you can do. And then if you're out there, it looks like the road may be down to the surface and you see the blacktop, don't assume it's not icy. So there are just some things that you can do. And then you're probably going to see our plows out tomorrow. So if you do encounter a plow, please stay back. Give the plows room to do their job, and just take it slow tomorrow. And it's going to be some time to get these roads clear, and it's going to be some refreezing the next couple of nights as well.
Yeah. All great advice there, Tina. And if you do happen to get stuck, we know it happens. What do you suggest drivers do?
Well, certainly, if you need to, you want to call 911, and you can also dial pound 77, and that will also dial the closest Maryland State Police barracks. And we also have extra patrols out for our chart vehicles that can help assist motorists should their vehicles become disabled.
All right, Tina Register with NDOT. And Tina, before you go, on behalf of all of us here at Fox 45, we want to extend a sincere thank you to the Maryland Department of Transportation for the hard work that all of your drivers and crews do, and you all as staff, to keep Marylanders moving. We really appreciate it. We know it's hard work and can be dangerous work. So thank you on behalf of us in Baltimore and Maryland, okay?
Thank you. Our crews are amazing. We're very proud of them.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, several local school systems, as we mentioned, have already announced closures. And if you hear screaming, that's kids from around the state happy that they don't have to go to school tomorrow. That includes public schools in Anne Arundel County, public schools in Carroll County. They are all closed tomorrow.
Those screams could also be parents.
They could be parents
realizing
as well.
their kids aren't going to be in school the next 2 days. But we understand Baltimore County Schools, Harford County Schools, and Howard County Schools will be closed tomorrow and Tuesday. You can find the full list of schools and business closures right now on our website and on the Fox 45 News app.
Well, the winter storm is coming to an end, but the cold temperatures are really kind of lingering here and staying here for a while, as Gerard has told us.
Yeah, and getting even worse, unfortunately, I think he said. It's not, you think it's cold now. Yeah. Just get ready.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, I thought of something, though. Someone like you, Maxine, this is how you can kind of make maybe your time a little better. I'm not a parent yet, but I'm thinking maybe get the kids to help you with the shoveling and reward them with maybe some sledding or something like that. This will wear them out, and maybe you get a little quiet time later.
I think that's a great idea.
Does that work? That might work for the 5-year-old, not the 2-year-old.
Okay, maybe not the 2-year-old.
I might be able to put him to work.
I feel you there. But just a thought. Now, this is still some good sledding snow that we have out there. Let's show you again a couple of things when it comes to these snow totals versus our forecast here. First of all, there's a lot of variability that's still out there between a lot of these numbers. So let's go towards the Baltimore region, for instance. That's 6 to 9 inch range. We've had numbers as high as almost a foot reported, in some as low as 5.5 inches. So a huge range right here. But a couple of things are going on. First of all, we started with snow, and then we had sleet. You may have been able to notice that maybe the snow was piling up, But then when the sleet happened, it beat the snow down to the ground even further, and it compressed the whole thing. So some of your snow totals could have actually been a bit more if you went out and measured and then started again with a new measurement for just the sleet. That's kind of what I actually did with my measurement up towards northern Baltimore County. But what we're talking about now is just overall the variability, which is still pretty impressive given that the storm just lasted for almost 24 hours. But look at this. Some places, of course, off the northwest did not get to that foot mark. Absolutely did not see that. Had one location that may have gotten close, but no one saw above a foot that we have seen any reports of. Regardless of what any other information that you've been hearing, there was no way that this occurred. Did you see this on your phone? This was your Apple weather forecast for Baltimore. Many people came to me and said, are we really going to get 22 or 30 inches of snow? And I said, where on earth are you getting that? And they said, my phone. And I said, well, okay, this is the difference between an Apple weather forecast and, of course, ours. And this is even more mind-blowing. After the fact, it's trying to still say that, oh, you did get 24 inches of snow. Not a single measurement out there. This was a double, triple fail even. Not only a big X, 3 thumbs down, Apple. That was not a good forecast, and of course this might have driven a lot of people to get out there and kind of panic buy a little bit. We've got 2 feet of snow coming. No, that was never in our forecast. We were on the at least potential of seeing upwards of a foot when it was looking like it might be all snow. But then once the sleet came and mixed in, it did cut into the snow totals. As we said, that could absolutely happen. So now that the snow is over, it's down to the fun part. We get to clean it up. Thank you, DOT, for doing a great job. They have been on it all day. Now it's going to be everyone else's turn. Of course, I saw a lot of shoveling going on. There's going to be a lot of sore backs and a lot of red noses because it's going to be cold going into this week. Look at this. Going into Monday morning, oh, it's not bad. Okay, mid-20s. If you got to do some shoveling, do it sooner than later because it gets worse. Going into Tuesday, temperatures drop to the single digits and maybe even touching the negatives in a couple places. Those are your temperatures. I'm going to show you the wind chills coming up. It looks pretty nasty. Mid-20s for highs. We're not going to see any help melting-wise. The sun can sometimes do that even in temperatures in the 20s. It can do a little bit, but overall, this is not going to be a big melt event. It's the opposite. It's the deep, deep freeze. This is Wednesday morning's temperatures. Again, back to the single digits. So this is going to be brutal and long-duration cold. And your high temperatures each day are so far below the average, almost down below the chart. Yes, 20s are your highs, followed by teens for your highs on Thursday and Friday. This Arctic blast is just going to kind of crank it up with more and more cold air, even though our average highs in the 40s. Well, this is now your wind chill factor, and this is why you got to be covered head to toe. Even if you're just outside shoveling, I know it's going to get kind of hot, but frostbite can still happen even if hypothermia doesn't. Wind chills -5 to -10. That's Tuesday morning. Here's Wednesday morning. More of the same, -5, -10, nearing -15. Again, a little bit of a breeze with temperatures in the single digits can absolutely be dangerous. So we want everyone to please be careful. As you can tell, again, those high temperatures in the 20s, lows in the single digits. We are in Maryland, right? We're not in like South Dakota. I don't know. This just doesn't look right to me. I'm a little upset by this, but I'm even more upset that we're not even going to see temperatures breaking the freezing mark until early next week. 7 days of Arctic brutality, guys.
All right, Gerard, thank you. We'll be prepared then. Thanks for the info. Well, let's take another look at Rogers Forge in Baltimore County. As Keith Daniels reported, the neighborhood pretty quiet right now, but it was a different story earlier today. We'll show you the snow day fun coming up.
coverage of the winter storm continues. Take a look at this. BWI Airport posted this video of their crews clearing off the runways today. The post says if you have travel plans tomorrow or in the days ahead, you should be sure to confirm your flight status before you arrive at the airport.
Yeah, we have seen widespread flight delays and cancellations across the country today. This is a look at FlightAware's misery map. You can see airports in Texas, Charlotte, Chicago, New York, and even Miami, mostly in the red. LaGuardia was shut down for a period of time. That also indicates more delays and cancellations than on-time flights, the red. BWI alone has seen hundreds of cancellations in the last 24 hours.
Now, the road's not much better than the runways tonight. This is a look at Rogers Forge in Baltimore County. You can see the side streaks here. Still a little covered in snow and ice tonight.
And Fox 45 has been keeping track of the conditions all day. Amy Aronson was there this morning with residents who took full advantage of their snow day.
The strategy of the snow day in Rogers Forge has been getting out as often as possible to clear away the snow and then the ice. The theme of the day here has been shoveling, snow blowing, and sweeping off the cars.
I'm just going to keep coming out here every hour just to stay ahead of it. I don't want to be part of the sleet where it's really high snow and sleet on top of it.
Is Seven doing any shoveling?
No, he's just pretty much standing there collecting the snow on his body.
So how has it been shoveling, number one?
Everything is fine so far. It's powdery, so it's easy to move.
So I'm here with Steve. You said this is actually your first time being able to use this snowblower.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work in anything but powder.
Well, it's a good thing we have powder this morning, right?
This is my time in the light, so.
Oh,
I gotta
Kenny, you're gonna get Kenny.
I'm gonna get your guy. That's gonna make a real shot.
You're gonna cover our camera. Let's see this in action. There you go.
There you go.
That is much easier than shoveling.
Oh yeah.
You're using a broom, which is such a great idea. How's it going?
Fabulous. It's coming right off. It's very powdery. No ice yet, but it is coming down, so I don't want it to be encased in ice and snow.
And after all this hard work, everybody, mostly the kids, have been treating themselves to some good old-fashioned sledding here at the Big Sledding Hill in Rogers Forge. In Rogers Forge, I'm meteorologist Amy Aronson, Fox 45 News.
New political fallout in Washington. I'm Christine Frizzell with how the fatal shooting of 37-year-old Alex Preddy may play a role in a government shutdown.
Plus, our live team coverage of the winter weather continues. We'll have reports on the conditions from Rogers Forge in Baltimore City after the break.
I just love seeing dogs and kids playing in the snow. At least you get something good out of all this mess. Kids love a good snow day, but this is going to be brutal going forward. Dangerously cold temperatures all week long. Icy roads and sidewalks. Those numbers are going to be pretty nasty. We'll have more on that coming up.
our weather alert tonight through the next several days amid a monstrous winter storm bringing heavy snow which turned to sleet and then freezing rain.
Here's a live look at Towson, Baltimore City, pictures out on the roads and also our weather radar. We're also tracking single-digit temperatures that could hit over the next couple of days. Now, several local school systems have already announced closures. Baltimore City Public Schools and Arundel County Public Schools and also Carroll County Schools are all closed tomorrow.
Baltimore County Schools, Harford County Schools, and Howard County Schools will be closed tomorrow and Tuesday. You can find the full list of school and business closures right now on our website and the Fox 45 News app.
Well, our viewers are still sending in images and video of the picture into the snow today. We appreciate that. Kristen sent us this photo of her kids playing outside. Thank you, Kristen. Cheryl sent in this picture of McDaniel College, and Bria showed us her dog Midnight out in the sun. And Jada also shared this picture of her dog Winnie. Very cute picture, Winnie. At least the pets are out here loving this winter. They love the weather and they love the snow.
Yeah. Right now, BGE reporting very few active outages. This is a good thing, a bright spot after this storm, but those numbers, they could jump a bit as we see more ice overnight into tomorrow and Tuesday.
All right. Thank you for staying with us tonight.
We continue to track the potentially life-threatening conditions across our area and across the country. We are continuing our live team coverage of the winter weather and its impact. In a few minutes, Vincent Hill and Keith Daniels will join us with the conditions out on the roads.
First, Chief Meteorologist Gerard Jabali is in studio with us, checking your forecast. Gerard.
Well, we're not out of the woods completely, but the precipitation has stopped. Now, things are going to get a little interesting going into the next few days because we all know kind of the power grid situation around here. There's going to be a high amount of stress on that with these temperatures for a week, dipping down into the single digits each and every night. And of course, that is still some very dangerous weather that we need to be very, very cautious about, despite all the ice and snow that's out there. That's hazard number one, that's on the ground. We'll be able to slowly clean that up and make it a little less hazardous there, but the cold, it's hard to really do anything but hide from it indoors. So everyone needs to be very, very careful, including the pets. You know, you got to protect them a little bit, little jackets, paws, things like that. The cold can be a little brutal on them too, so make sure your furry friends are being safe as well. Looking outside, again, most of the precipitation is practically over with. We may see our temperatures come up a few degrees, but it's going to stay below freezing tonight, and this is going to be an icy layer by tomorrow, so not really anything good coming out of that, and not for the next week until we can really get some good melting in here. Again, a look at some of the snow totals forecast. Again, the forecast is in the blue, or purple, I should say. The actual numbers are in the yellow, so we were pretty good with slightly higher totals near the eastern shore, but still within that range and still very much in window with Baltimore itself in that 6 to 9 inch range. Pretty much hit it on the nose with, again, some variability in here. Some places got a bit more, some got a bit less. That's why we always have a range. We can't just sit there and put specific numbers. The one area didn't quite come through was actually far northwest. We're talking north of Frederick, northern Carroll County. Still, many locations came close to that 9 inch range, but most of them did not get quite in that window. So that was the only thing. Now, again, we're still talking about how much snow was predicted, and some people's apps did not come through with that. And that includes your weather app on Apple iPhones. Please make sure you guys realize that was absolutely not a forecast that we gave, but it was something that did kind of send people into a bit of a buying panic. But look at the cold that's coming. We're talking about 20s, and then eventually it's also those single-digit lows. But wait, there's more. Yes, wind chill factors, -5, -10, even some places -15. It's going to be brutal until early next week, guys.
And as we see the potential for icy conditions overnight into the morning, Fox 45's Vincent Hill out live to show us the conditions on the road.
Yeah, he continues our live team coverage. So, Vincent, how does it look right now?
Okay, Maxine, I actually moved over to Pratt and South Street. Of course, this is near the Inner Harbor. Now, apparently people have had cabin fever all day because there are several cars that are starting to travel up and down the road. Actually, one is coming up on us right now. And speaking of cars, according to Maryland State Police, they've received nearly 1,000 calls for service and responded to 62 crashes. Now, again, the snow has stopped, the sleet has stopped, the freezing rain has stopped, but you got to be careful because packed under this snow that you see, I can tell you, is a little bit of ice going on. So you want to make sure if you don't need to come out, don't come out. Again, we're starting to see several cars pass by as we're here in downtown near the Inner Harbor. So again, stay safe. If you don't need to be out, don't be out. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Vincent, thank you. And a lot of people are taking to social media, sharing their snow day with us. We appreciate that. Look at some of the pictures we have right here. This is from Patricia in Middle River. What a beautiful scene right there. We appreciate that, Patricia. How about this picture right here? Snowfall in Baltimore, the most we've had in a while. That's right, since 2016. That's 10 years. And this one, this is what it's all about, isn't it, folks? A kid enjoying the snow on this day. Maxine?
Well, driving conditions may be even more dangerous on smaller side streets. Fox 45's Keith Daniels continues our live team coverage with the state of the roads in Rogers Forge. Keith, what's it looking like?
Well, Maxine, we're live on Hopkins Road. This is a side street, but before I take you down this block really quickly, take a quick look over here. This is one of the main thoroughfares. This is York Road. Look at that. It's pretty clear. The roads are moving. That truck moving fast. This is clear. The road is clear, but look out overnight, as we've been telling you. This is going to freeze. It could be very dangerous. It's going to get dangerous. The side road here, they're working the side streets, which are typically, they say, some of the last streets to be cleared during the snowstorm, but this block is passable. Now, residents say they believe it's because they're pretty close to York Road, so this block, at least Hopkins Road here in Baltimore County, it is passable. But again, Baltimore County officials say they have 2,700 miles of road to take care of. Those plow crews are going to be busy. They're going to be out, and they say pack your patience. They will get to you eventually. We're live now in Baltimore County. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Keith, thank you. Our viewers are sending in images of their snow areas. Kristen sent us this picture of snow in her backyard. Vicki sent in this look at her snow day. And Carrie sent us this photo of Cece, the shepherd, enjoying the snow. And Aaron sent us this picture of snow in her neighborhood, unshoveled, of course, on this street at this time. Might look a lot different right now.
And if you see heavy snowfall and it's safe to go outside, we want to see it too. Head to foxbaltimore.com/chime in to share your pictures and videos. You might see them on air or on our website. It's all powered by Stackler.
Now make sure to wake up with the morning crew for all of your important weather alerts and updates. Meteorologist Amy Aronson will have your up-to-date forecast on Fox 45 Early Edition at 4:30 a.m.
Download the Fox 45 Weather Authority app for severe weather alerts, daily and hourly forecasts, plus current and predictive radar. Just search WBFF in your app store or scan the QR code with your smartphone.
Let's take a look at the Fox box right now. The severe winter weather has delayed an upcoming vote in the Senate until Tuesday. Up for consideration is the $1.2 trillion funding package for major agencies, including the Pentagon and Department of Homeland Security. Lawmakers have until January 30th to pass the package or face a partial shutdown.
A makeshift memorial now stands at the site where federal agents shot and killed a protester in Minneapolis. Hundreds of Minneapolis residents turned out over the weekend for a vigil in honor of 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Preddy.
Now, this is taking on another twist at this point. The heads of major Minnesota-based corporations have issued a public letter Sunday calling on local and federal officials to de-escalate tensions in the state. That letter was signed by more than 60 companies. That includes the chief executives of Target, Best Buy, and General Mills, big corporations. They say they believe state authorities and the White House can work together on a solution.
The back and forth continues in the courts over how federal agents can interact with protesters in Minnesota. According to court documents, lawyers for the Trump administration are urging federal judges to continue blocking the restrictions placed on federal agents. An appeals court issued the temporary injunction last week.
Growing bipartisan concerns over Preddy's death in Minneapolis as both parties call for fair investigations. The desire to make changes to DHS funding may result in a government shutdown in less than a week.
National correspondent Christine Frizzell brings us the details.
The video has been watched countless times by millions of Americans and people around the world, with top Trump administration officials framing what happened to Alex Preddy like this.
We do know that he came to that scene and impeded a law enforcement operation, which is against federal law. It's a felony.
No one who wants to be peaceful shows up at a protest with a firearm that is loaded with 2 full magazines.
While the videos appear to show Alex Preddy was disarmed before shots were fired, President Trump blaming so-called sanctuary cities for, quote, encouraging left-wing agitators to unlawfully obstruct ICE operations to arrest the worst of the worst. Top immigration officials say they were working to arrest a dangerous criminal in the country illegally when the fatal shooting occurred.
This individual is still roaming the streets today.
This was entirely avoidable. If we had a governor, if we had a mayor, if we had leadership in Washington and over Minnesota that actually cared about their citizens, this would never have happened because there would be law enforcement on the streets helping ICE.
Now, Democrats are also making clear they will not be voting in favor of a spending bill that includes new funding for the Department of Homeland Security without major changes made to it first. And with government funding set to expire this Friday, a government shutdown could be inevitable.
We have a bill about funding them, giving them more money. I'm not voting for that, and I didn't vote for tripling their budget over this summer.
Key Democrats who helped end the shutdown the last time around also announcing they'll vote no. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer making clear Senate Democrats will not provide the votes to proceed to the appropriations bill if the DHS funding bill is included. Several people, including many Republicans, raising concerns following Saturday's shooting, calling for congressional investigations. Senator Bill Cassidy writing, the credibility of ICE and DHS are at stake. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
Closer to home, Baltimore police are investigating after a 40-year-old man is stabbed in the Edgewood neighborhood this afternoon. Police say the victim is in critical condition. Detectives took a person of interest in for questioning. They say the incident was domestic related.
The Maryland House Rules Committee is postponing its hearing on a new congressional map until Tuesday because of the weather. The Governor's Redistricting Commission introduced the map last week. Critics say it seeks to get rid of Maryland's Republican representation in Congress. The committee was going to have a virtual discussion tomorrow, but decided to hold the hearing in person at 3 Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, it's been a long week. We have seen everything come our way, but now at least things are on the way out. So the snow is going to remain on the ground for several more days. We had sleet and even some ice, that freezing rain that actually got to the ground and caused a sort of icy layer. Everyone's going to be likely shoveling or scraping tomorrow morning, and we're going to be talking about dangerously cold temperatures starting Monday, lasting through Thursday. Those impacts the icy roads and sidewalks, but we're going to talk about the numbers, including how cold those wind chills are going to dip, coming up.
Taking a live look at Baltimore City as residents battle heavy snow, sleet, and ice.
Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor was downtown earlier today and shows us the conditions drivers and pedestrians faced.
Got that light, fluffy snow turning to sleet and pelting ice later in the afternoon. And it's just been absolutely wreaking havoc on our roadways. As you can see, there are people walking in the middle of the road because there's so few travelers out today, which is great. We're happy to see people, heeding the warnings and staying home. As far as road conditions, there is a little bit of pavement that is starting to peek through. We just had one plow come through, but I will say we've only seen about 2 plows in the 5 hours that we've been out here. So we've kind of been questioning, where are all these city plows? We know that the crews are out. We know that they have a hard job and they're working hard, but we're not the only one kind of noticing their absence today. Take a listen as the snow continues to pile up. So are frustrations from some drivers.
The pandemic is over with. You can't work from home anymore. You got to come out and do your job.
You don't think there's enough plows on the road?
There is no plows on the road.
Now, we have seen a lot of this. We've seen private plows that are out here up with their plows up. We want them on the ground. Give us some help. Obviously, we need help. Everybody's crying for it. But that driver that we just heard from, he said that he needed to be out on the roadways because he wanted to help his elderly mother. He said he wanted to help plow her out, so he felt like he had to be out here. Otherwise, he would have been staying home. We also spoke with 2 essential workers today. One of them, a nurse at Johns Hopkins University, just getting off on the night shift. And another one, a grocery store worker at Safeway. They were braving it by foot, getting to work. Take a listen to what they had to say. How is the hospital? Have people been coming in with, has the snow been affecting that at all?
I haven't seen it so far. I feel like if we're going to see it, it's going to be this afternoon. But business is operating as usual.
It's been a madhouse. The store has been mobbed. I think we've sold out half our merchandise. People are coming in late to work. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if some people have called out today.
And from the looks of it, because of how much snow we got and because of this winter wonderland that you're looking at right now, it is likely that cleanup will be underway for quite some time. We know kids already have off school tomorrow. Hopefully you can get off work or maybe work from home. But regardless, it is a cliche. If you don't have to be out here, don't. These conditions really are dangerous. We've seen even trucks and SUVs with 4-wheel drive kind of slipping and sliding in all of this. So stay warm, stay home, and stay watching Fox 45. Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
All right, good advice. Chief Meteorologist Gerard Jabali joins us now in studio with your full forecast here in the city and across our area. Gerard?
I'm glad I don't have to tell any more how much snow are we going to get. That was such a big question everyone is asking me. Well, now we know how much happened, and we've been able to show you that, and we continue to see the system moving out, and we're calling it an end. But this has been a very interesting storm for one reason alone. I think we had a lot of bad information going out there that caused more buying panic, more confusion than ever before. And it wasn't from really local meteorologists. That does happen, but it's actually your iPhone forecast. I had probably dozens of people saying, are we really going to get 20 to 30 inches of snow? And I said, where are you getting that? It didn't make any sense, but it's all coming together now. And hopefully we all saw that not a single person out there saw 20 to 30 inches of snow. At most, there have been a few reports close to a foot, but even those are very, very sparse. Looking out there tonight, no sparseness of, is sparseness a word? I'm not sure. There's nothing but cold air around. We're talking about temperatures dropping to the low teens tonight. It's been a long week, in case you haven't noticed. And it's going to be a long week still with temperatures still unbearably cold. This is what it looks like. They're dropping down to the single digits. And then going into tomorrow, we'll still get to the mid-20s. Tuesday, mid-20s. Is that any good? Not really, because it's over again. Here we go on Wednesday. Temperatures in the low single digits, even nearing 0 at times. And this is your high temperature trend. It goes downward. How can we possibly go downward? We're about as low as we should ever be, and it drops to the teens for highs. This is a forecast for maybe Michigan, not for us. This is not right. Michigan, come get your weather. It's on our lawn. We don't want it anymore. It's lost. We get back to a little bit more normal Maryland weather, but not until we have to deal with wind chills. Sub-zero, -5, -10, This is going to be really some teeth-chattering cold that we have to deal with. Make sure you're covered up, even if you're outside shoveling. Remember, you're going to build up body heat, but your extremities, your digits, your nose, your ears can still get frostbite, even though you feel like you're burning up. I know it's not easy, so take it easy, especially with the shoveling. Don't overwork yourself. There's going to be a lot of sore backs and very red noses through all of this going through the next 5 to 10 days before we get a break. Yeah, it gets colder all the way through Thursday and Friday. We got to keep weather alerts on there for this frigid air. As you can see, the single digits and then the wind chills sub-zero. -10, that's rough. But a little bit of help going into next week, and that means above freezing. Hey, it's at least the right direction. I'll take that.
Maryland, far from the only state impacted by winter weather today, we're taking a look across the country. This winter storm is having an impact across the country. It stretched from Texas all the way up through New England.
Here's the scene in Massachusetts, New York, Delaware, and also Texas. 2/3 of the country saw significant snowfall. Ice and heavy snow has left millions of people across the country without power. Now here at home, Maryland hasn't seen this much snow in pretty much a decade.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Fox 45's Megan Gillen shows us the impact in her neighborhood.
We are here in Manchester, Carroll County. You know, this area is used to seeing a lot of snow, but this is something different, and we have seen very few people out enjoying it. But if you're on something like this, this is the way to go. Bill, you're out enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm having great fun. Lots of fun on an ATV that's meant to be out in the snow.
You and I were talking. We haven't seen snow like this in a really long time.
Yeah, not since 2016 or so. This is awesome for me anyway. Yeah. I love it.
And you were out on the real roads, not just the neighborhood roads, and they're not pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty horrible. I wouldn't be out in a car. Something like this, you know, if I get it stuck, whatever. But yeah. A car, I wouldn't be driving right now.
Well, it's not too often you get to enjoy this. Bill, we appreciate you talking to us. Be careful. We're going to watch you have some fun.
Great.
This is how it's done in Carroll County. Bill, take it away. And you know, that's about all you can do when you've got this much snow and nowhere to go. All you can do is just, you know, maybe put some kids to work over here. We've got the youngest ones out here enjoying it, working hard. Yay! See, they're excited they're not going to have school tomorrow, right? In Carroll County, I'm Megan Gilland.
All right, Megan, thank you. Well, a major coach who's been with the Ravens for more than a decade is following John Harbaugh to New York. That's next on Sports Unlimited.
And as we head to break, we're taking another live look at Hamden. We'll take one last check of the conditions right after the break. All right. Storm wasn't all doom and gloom. We did see some fun out in the snow today. There's me and my kids, Marlo and Macklin. I think it took us longer to actually get in our snow gear and get out the door, though, than the time that we spent outdoors. It wasn't that much fun with the
It's a
sleet.
process without a doubt. Marlo and Macklin look really cute, though, too, Maxine. And I know Morgan was enjoying Hudson being out today as well. And our own AJ Gersh got this video of people skiing and sledding at Patterson Park. AJ, thank you very much for this video. We don't see your exploits out here on the snow and ice, but I'm sure AJ's got some video somewhere. We'll have to find it.
Sports Unlimited is sponsored by your Baltimore area Toyota dealer.
It's a small world.